good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to Blue Falcon TCG, where being a buddy is half the battle. And we are going to do a good little breakdown of the sector qualifier. First, my personal recap. I got smoked. I got cooked. I was playing Han Solo, so Han 2, one of my favorite, red, white, blue decks. I love the freedom stuff. We got to rep it, right? Yeah. Two wins, 3 losses, and 3 draws. One of the losses was completely preventable. I do feel like I did misplay catastrophically a couple times. The draws, however, I was playing as fast as I possibly could. And only one draw was actually just, I think, warranted. We really were playing just good Star Wars, countering each other, trading up when needed. It was a fun game. He just happens to be a local player, which is really cool. The other two, just a little slow. It's all right though. No salt here. I do have a problem with how the time stuff does work in Star Wars, and I understand. They're trying to keep the tournament moving so that it does move at a reasonable pace. But overall, great event. Shout out to Star City Games. Fantastically ran. I think PPG was there as a vendor. Awesome. Great. Picked up some good cards. I got my HKs. Don't know where they're at, but you can see my desk of mini cards. And yeah. Overall, day one, tournament was fantastic. Let's talk about the spread. We're going to hop over and just show we'll move to the data. Let's go to the data. All right, here's the data. Here it is. Day one, or just in general, I just wanted to get a kind of like a wide idea of what everybody is saying. I know there was a live stream and all that good stuff. I was really expecting Han 1 to have a larger percentage. However, I do understand that deck has a high floor in order to compete at a high level. So it's not the easiest deck just to pick up and play. Now, Han 2, Sabine, Cad Bane even, they're pretty easy just to grab and play. Boba Fett, Data Vault, another big strategy that actually flooded the area, which is really cool. 22% rogue decks I thought was awesome. These are anything that was from Anakin Skywalker to Bazine or Admiral Trench deck out deck, which is, if you haven't played into the blue trench, it is frustrating. It is absolutely just frustrating. But hey, we're not going to judge the players for playing control, part of the game. Just because they're mean to everybody else doesn't mean we have to be mean to them. But overall, we had a really wide and diverse tournament, which is really cool. Looking over my left and right when playing, I think the only time I saw true duplicates was game 1, where I was surrounded by everything space. Game 1 for me was into Darth Vader yellow, already just an obnoxious deck to play into if you don't have a lot of space hate. Luckily, bricks are things, and they built a house. So, thank you, card game gods. And to my left and right was a Kazuto and double green Admiral Piet match, which was, I was more interested in that than my own game, because Admiral Piet's my boy, Anyways, super diverse meta, which means that we have a very healthy format. And is that because 4-star was banned? I don't know. I think we need a couple more tournaments to kind of see. Overall, we are seeing still a majority of aggression decks still make the top 8, and we're going to talk about that in the next slide. But I think we're on a solid pace to have a very diverse meta. And with the new set coming out here shortly, it's just going to add more gas to the fire and just have a lot more fun decks. Alrighty. Our top 8, the top best decks. Look at the fact that Han Solo, Han 1, Han 2, still converting really well in the top 8. That's kind of to be expected with the amount of players. It was over like 55, 60 players, give or take, that were playing Han 2 strategy, whether it was Data Vault, ECL, or Han 2 Blue Force. There was an overwhelming player amount that played it. Cad Bane, same thing. clearly Cad Bane or Tarkentown in general is kind of the idea that, hey, we're going to counter Han 2. And what better way to counter Han 2 than play Cad Bane? There was a single Quinlan Voss player in all 485 or 480 decks that were entered. And sadly, it was a fall of a king. You know, they went X3 drop pretty quick. So maybe the Tarkentown match it just didn't match up, or they didn't see enough Han 2s to carry themselves forward. It do be what it do, Yugi. But Cad Bane. Now, playing a very little Weenie Hut Jr. Cad Bane, making its way to the top 8 fantastic. Kira, it's blue-green villainy shells. I kind of always expect it to do well, but I don't have any respect for it. Never respect blue-green villainy. I don't care how much smoke I get. That's good. I don't think we need to really talk about that too much. But let's focus more on, I guess, the new emerging deck strategies from the Han 1 green. And I put new around quotations because during earlier sets of this game, Han 1 was dominant. Whether it was double yellow, green, blue, red, you name it, it played it, and it was aggressive. And it was fast. Han 1 green is an oppressive deck if left alone. If you're not dealing with your opponent's hand, you know, if you can't play pillage eats Han. Just saying, any discard or disruption to their hand or constant spot removal to where they're running out of resource faster than you are, that's how you beat it. But you're not perfect, and this player piloted Han 1 green perfectly and just cooked everybody. And our 2 finalists will be Emperor Palpatine yellow and Anakin Skywalker blue force. Those 2 have a way smaller representation compared to the others. Less than 15 players played Palp yellow and had a really high conversion rate in the day 2. Anakin Skywalker had, of their 8 players, convert really well into day 2. I believe 4 or 5 converted into day 2. No, sorry. 2 converted into day 2. It was 4 or 5 Palpatines that converted to day 2. Either way, amazing. We're going to jump into some of the deck lists of the top 8s and just kind of be amazed that a majority of this format still is aggression. Over 50% of the top 8 was an aggression deck. Insane. All right, the Han 1 green, this deck is nuts. It's just gas. Like, it plays everything you want to see. Impus Nest, just such a great disruption card. Obi's Stolen at Hauler card is actually kind of good. It's annoying. It's a big body for a 4/5, and then it's just good. The big difference between this and the Han 1 blue force is being force reliant can be difficult. But they also have access to Anakin, and Anakin is a absolute bomb. -3/-3 twice is insane. But this is just good stuff yellow and good stuff green thrown into one deck. Biggest takeaway I think from this is that they're actually not playing home ones, which was a surprise to me. But U-Wings, Kellen Beck just really swarming the board, getting wide as possible is just good. Green, shenanigan, evil, just me weenies over here. Just good stuff. Triple vigilance, double super laser, restock, all the goodies you want to see, all the hate you want to see in a blue-green villainy deck. The surprise was Snoke only being at 1. I typically see it at 2 of or none, but sometimes you only need 1. Ron. Moving into the Hans, the Haniwanis, they're going to be pretty much identical across the board. Han Solo, this is a good card. Mace Windu, insane 4 damage to float across the space. Ezra coming down as a 3/3. Just 3/3 force unit is good. Good stuff. Or Owen Ogdo Bogdo. We don't need to waste any time on this. Cad Bane. The Weenie Hut Jr. Cad Bane. So many one costs. Now, the one cost strategy is that it's basically saying, oh, you're going to pass. I'm going to play a one cost. Okay. I'm going to put your opponent on. Do I have 2 one costs? And then it just makes Tarkin still live on turn 1. And then it's just a little bit more difficult to play around. It's just funny. It's smart, but they do lose the bombing run. So I guess Rocket, if you're really worried about CADs. Then the other hamster. All right, let's move into our. Oh. Boom. Okay. Second place, Anakin. Now, this is kind of good, right? Look at the bottom end. It plays a lot of low end. So you guys see the Sage 3 Yaddle, 3 Adi, just great. The one Sabine Rin I think is great, and with the 2 Owens. The one Sabine with no Sabine inside is just like, hey, what's a good one-of card? I mean, we are playing 52 cards, so you could technically, if you're looking at consistency things, just moving Sabine down and cutting it completely, and maybe even dropping down a Force Lightning to 1, or to 2. But hey, this person got second place. What am I to say about deck building? Like, some people are weird about playing more than 50 cards, but obviously this person pulled it off and just cooked. Got second place. Fantastic deck list. It's exactly what you would think Blue Anakin Force would be. And the winner. The winner. I'm going to tell you what. When I played into Yellow Palpatine this weekend, I got bazined 5 times. And it was a stupid McClucky that did it. The Bazine loop is just not fun. Not fun at all. And yeah, you know what? It's just good. It's such a good deck. This might be something I want to play. It's just obnoxious. It's great. It's a control deck that doesn't feel like a control deck because you're doing a lot more like proactive instead of like reactive control, which is really cool. I really enjoy this type of control deck. And then the legacy run is just obnoxious. Just sack it, you float 7 damage on the board, and that's just disgusting. Change of Heart and Palpatine is just a ruthless combo. But great decks. It was a great weekend all around. And that kind of wraps up the Sector Qualifier recap. I appreciate you guys watching who made it this far. Thank you so much. Hope you all have a good rest of your week, a great weekend. Good luck to anybody competing. Hope you have a great time. And remember, you're not bad at the game. You just got to shuffle better.